Hi guys, my name is Isabella Greene. Today I would like to talk to you about the benefits of being single. Many of us in the older generations have been conditioned to believe that unless we have somebody in our lives, such as a husband, a significant other, then we're not complete, or there is something wrong with us. And this goes very much for women, but some men as well. Some men believe the same thing as well. And so people spend their entire lives chasing this idea, trying to get that special someone into their lives, not only to experience love, but to experience the actual marriage, the lifelong commitment or a long-term commitment. But let's examine this belief and let's take a look at the question, is this really true? We're trained to believe since childhood, especially the little girls since childhood are trained to believe that when that prince on white horse shows up, then we will be happy. I'd like to discuss this and take a close look with you at this. And this video is not in any way suggesting that you now have to become single and have to be determined to be single for the rest of your life. This video is for those who are presently single and who are still chasing that idea, thinking that something is not right with them. Well, first of all, you being single can change on a dime. You literally have no idea when you're going to meet the person that you fall in love with. But falling in love with does not necessarily mean that you will have a marriage or that you will have that connection or that union that we are trained to believe that makes us complete. And so if you're in the space of being single, let's take a look at the benefits of being single. So, benefit number one, freedom. Enjoy your freedom while it's there. I know so many people who are married and they would meet up with me and they will have conversations with me going, oh my God, how come you're single? Oh, almost there's a tone of the poor you kind of thing. And then at the end of the conversation, they often kind of whisper there to me going, you know what, I really wish I had that freedom too. You have a freedom to do whatever you like whenever you want. You have a freedom to focus on your own self, to focus on your own path, to focus on your own purpose. There is a statistic somewhere, I heard that in a lecture regarding single versus married people. It is a statistics that much higher percentage, something like 85% of single people are rooted into their true purpose, their mission, versus the people who are married, who are always rooted into their purpose and mission for about 10%. Why? Because the marriage, the relationship, the connection, taking care of the other, being with the other, connected with the other, all of that, most of the time, in conventional setup, means that you are devoting yourself to the relationship first. And there is hardly ever any time, especially being a female, it is still expected that we are to give up all of our interests and all of our own passions and do what the man wants or follow what the man suggests us to do or support him in his journey. Woman is there to support a man. Is that really true? That's another belief. And so we're kind of raised to believe that yes, we're here when that man comes in, it gives us purpose of supporting that man. The man would achieve, the man would create, the man would go forth, and we will just be there giving them support. And there are endless examples of that in history where women were in the background as a shadow to the man who very often did not have much to offer without that woman being there. So is this still true in this day and time? Is it still true that we have to support that structure in this way? Lucky are the couples who found each other after awakening, when they both already tapped into their purpose. Even luckier are those who are in alignment with each other, the ones whose purpose is the same, whose focus and mission is equally strong, and they both carry part of that mission. I think that these are the most optimal unions, but unfortunately these unions are very rare. And so let's get back to the benefits of being single. You maintain the sovereignty of your energy field when you're single. That means health, that means emotions, that means your choices. And I would like to elaborate on that here. What does it mean that you maintain the sovereignty of your own energy field? Well, you all heard me say a number of times, and you heard that from other sources, never sleep with someone you don't want to be. When you're under the same roof with the same person for more than 3 nights, you start sharing energy field to the point that you start absorbing their stuff and they're absorbing yours. You're basically starting to morph into each other, like it or not. And then people start looking like the same person, right? Have you seen couples that potentially could be fighting for 50 years together, but they're together regardless, they're surviving that matrimony, but at the end of their lives they kind of look alike, right? And they say the same thing, and they just become the same thing. Well, not only habitually, but also energetically, we absorb the other's state of being. And so I've seen many examples of people coming together later in life, those who were not able to, or for whatever reason not able to maintain their previous relationships, or came into relationships later in life, and when one person already had significant health situations going on, and the other person was really healthy, in a good place. Most of the time, it's a woman who is in a good place and is in a stronger place, in a healthier place, because women generally tend to take better care of themselves. And so she meets, like, let's take this example, and it's a real life example, and I've seen a few of these, and I want to share that with you. So that woman suddenly meets a man who is of her age group, but wasn't necessarily taking really good care of themselves, and so they have a number of issues, and there would be issues with health, and there'll be issues with emotional state, there'll be issues with unprocessed emotional traumas, all kinds of stuff, but they fall in love, and oh my God, finally I found this special someone later in life, how lucky do I feel? And then 5 years go by, and this woman is no longer what she used to be. I have actually witnessed that happening, where I saw the beautiful, bright, shiny lady who was working, was obviously a light worker. She was working towards the highest good of all. She was doing sessions with people. She was contributing to expansion. She was really happy, and she was also really healthy. But she was alone, and she said that she was very comfortable alone. She was really happy alone too. I actually interviewed this person just to find out if it was worth it for her, what happened, if it was worth it at all. So she met this really powerful man, and they recognized each other as twin flames, and they came together, but the man was not in the same category where she was. He had a whole list of health conditions. He had unprocessed past, and but you know, we as women, we think we can help them, we can assist them, we can grow together, we can make them feel better, and it all worked for first couple of years, and then her health just broke down. And at this point, probably 5 or 7 years later, they are both, he got better, he did get better, but she's in a place kind of meeting him there, so it balanced out. She was in a better place, he was in a lower state. Now they're the same. After sharing that energy field, after sharing the state of being, now all of her past health conditions that she used to have, and then she got over them and she cleared all of that, and she was in a really good place, and she was expecting that she was going to age gracefully and feel amazing for the rest of her life. When that man came into her life, that only lasted a short while, that she was in a good place herself, and then her health went, and it's just a whole different ball game now. And so basically what happened, they merged the energy fields. The love is still there, and they're doing their best, but I asked her, do you think that you would have been in a better place if you would have stayed alone? She said, I was definitely a very happy person single. My health was way better. My health was great, she said, and I was focused on my purpose. She said, right now I have no energy to be focused on my purpose. All I'm doing is working on my health all the time, and his issues as well. We did grow together a lot, she said, but it's definitely not what it used to be. Of course, she did not answer me whether it was worth it or not to go into a relationship that she deliberately knew was going to influence her in that way. So that's for you to decide, and for me just to bring this story for you. Another benefit of being single, peace. Blues Traveler, I believe, has a song, if you want to be at peace, live alone. I very much support that theory. Even when I was in relationships before, I never wanted to live with anyone. I guess there was that intuitive feeling that, I don't want to become this person. They can come and visit, but then they're gonna go after 3 nights for sure. I could never take more than 3 nights in one place together. That was my thing, but that's an intuitive sense, I guess. The fact of the matter is, living alone, on your own, doing your own thing feels so incredibly good. People get lonely. A lot of people get lonely because they think that this other person is going to fulfill them. I completely disagree. Since I worked out the loneliness issues, and you work out the loneliness issues through finding the connection with the inner being, restoring the love for the inner child, reconnecting with all aspects of yourself, the child, the teenage, the grown-up, the present moment, the higher divine essence of self, finding your own path and purpose, understanding what it is that you're doing there. All of that closes that gap, that feeling of loneliness. Trust me, I was a poster child for loneliness my whole life. My whole life I spent chasing the idea that I need to get in the right relationship and get married. Right now I have a different opinion, because once I worked out the whole loneliness issue within myself, nothing is missing. Now the connection is a choice. It doesn't mean that we don't fall in love any longer. Yes, we fall in love. The person walks in the room and you get that whoa, that feeling, and you have a relationship, you have a connection. But I'm talking about constantly being fixated on the idea that you need that person in your life, and unless you have them, you're not complete. This is what I'm talking about. This idea, I believe, is completely false. So living by yourself, having your own freedom, having the sovereignty of your health, emotions, and your own journey, being at peace. And then, yes, focus on the purpose. It gives you a tremendous amount of energy to create. Both chasing the idea that we need a partner, and trying to get a partner, and trying to make the relationships work once you met someone, and then dealing with their stuff too, which is really your stuff, but that's a separate subject here, and I'm getting there. But all of that takes incredible amount of energy. Just that feeling of loneliness that drains you so much. Your own feeling of loneliness drains you, drains all of your creative resources. So when you're able to close that, and I have a video about the energy of loneliness, or the energy of longing for the past partner, longing for someone who is not even there, longing for someone who is unavailable. All of that drains your soul resources, and you're not 100% there. You're not 100% on your mission and your purpose, because you're draining energy into space, into the emptiness. So I'm recommending to focus on the benefits of being single. You can eat whatever you want. You can get out on your day off and drive anywhere you want. You can do whatever you feel like. You can watch whatever you want. You can listen to whatever you want. You only answer into your own self. Another plus here is negative karma. So here we get in metaphysical. According to Dolores Cannon, the second wave of volunteers, which I believe I belong to, came in to do their job and get out. That means not creating negative karma. When we are in relationships, karma grows. We bring in karmic relationships, that's first. We also create additional karma that piles into the old karma when we are in those long-term relationships. Well, this goes for having children as well, but this is a separate subject altogether. But the second wave of volunteers on Earth, and I worked with a whole bunch of these people that come to me and say, you know what, why am I single? But I'm fully in my purpose, and I am within this age group, and I feel like I don't have the capacity to have a relationship. And this is how I felt for most of my life as well. And of course we blame the parents, right? So I blamed my parents for a while. And then I realized, I stepped back and I looked at my journey, and I realized, I'm grateful to my parents. Because if I had 3 kids and a marriage by now, there's no way I'd be talking to you right now on camera and doing sessions worldwide and waking up hundreds of people, because I'd be focused on one little small piece of reality that consists of just my family, my kids, and my husband. And there was a very strong potential for that, but I deviated. I actually pulled out of the potentials of having this type of future for myself, got out of it, and here I am. So now I look back and I actually reached out to my parents and I thanked them for whatever happened that I used to believe that was in the way of me having a relationship. I recognize myself with the second wave of volunteers on Earth who came here to do our jobs, focus on the purpose, and get out, not creating any negative karma, so you have to come back here and clean it up and continue with other soul groups and all of that. And we did not come here to do that. We did not come here to use our energy for creation of more people, or use our energy for maintaining relationships. I'm talking about the marriage. We came here to do the job and get out. And so when you recognize that you are that, then everything makes perfect sense. Why did this not work out? Why did that not work out? You look back and you think, thank God. Have you looked at your partners that you thought you wanted so bad, and then you look back at them a few years later and you say, thank God that didn't work out. There's a divine plan out here, right? So that's a benefit. That is a benefit. The benefit is understanding that perhaps it's not your purpose to be a family maker or a family member. But yes, we want connections. Yes, we want closeness. Yes, sometimes there are still days of feeling alone, or feeling that, oh, there's someone that I would like to love. And it doesn't mean that you don't love. Staying single doesn't mean that you don't love. You love. You meet people and you have beautiful connections, but that constant desperation is no longer there. So it makes your connections easy flowing, easy going. Except with twin flame relationships, of course. Except with karmic relationships, of course. And this is one last thing that I'm going to touch upon here. So when you come into a karmic relationship or a twin flame connection, boy, does this rock and roll your life. Because they are the missing piece in you that you refuse to look at your whole life. And here they come in to bring all of that to the surface. And you know what? I've experienced that with a number of people, and I've grown a lot. And I am super grateful for these experiences. I'm super grateful for the opportunity to learn through the presence of that person in my life. But do I enjoy the in-between times when I'm by myself and I can just rest for a moment and not process anything and not be working this out and not be clearing it out? The clearing out, the emotional work happens anyway. But the karmic and twin flame relationships magnify it to the level that you have no choice. Like, this stuff is just exploding in your face because you're pushed to do the work in the most uncomfortable way. We think that, oh God, you know, that twin flame relationship is all peaches and cream. There are peaches and cream, absolutely. Absolutely no other connection feels that good. Absolutely no other potential love feels that good as when you come together with the twin flame, and I have experienced that. But then the other end of it, of processing, is brutal. Not gentle is a very soft way of saying that. And yes, you come together with them, you process in a non-gentle way, and then you come apart. This is very common for the twin flame relationships. You come apart, and this is when I go into appreciating my being single. Oh, I can rest the moment. I have my own energy. I have my sovereignty over the field. I have the peace in my house. I have the peace inside of me. Everything just feels like peaches and cream. Love is still there. Telepathic connection is still there, but you're not in each other's face every single day. And so it makes you, well, single, pretty much, right? Because what are we talking about? We're talking about being non-single as in living with someone, or being non-single as in being married with someone, or having someone around 24/7. Let's bring this conversation to the closure here. If you are single, there's nothing wrong with you. You might be the second wave of volunteers, where your higher self, your soul, is making sure that you don't connect so deeply here that you have to come back and keep clearing your karma, so you don't create any negative karma through these connections. If you're in a twin flame relationship but it's not gelling into marriage, thank God, because your processing would be so intense every single day. Now you can come together, work things out, process a certain level of your own stuff and his stuff or their stuff, and then rest for a little bit while you are single. Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy your focus on the purpose. Enjoy your learning about yourself through yourself. It's way gentler than in couples, in my experience, and in experience of others. Enjoy your health, well, if it is there. Enjoy your own state of mind, your own choices. There are tremendous benefits to being on your own, to being single. And that does not mean that you do not fall in love. And it doesn't mean that you do not have relationships. But not being in a contract such as marriage does not make you less or not good enough or not worthy of. Perhaps you are in a better place than many people who are actually married. Alright guys, thank you for listening today. Please subscribe for more videos on my channel. I don't very often go into relationship talk. It's mostly metaphysical here or related to emotional processing. If you'd like to have a session with me, you can reach me at isabellagreene.com. I love you. Take care now. Namaste.